If you don't know why all those fine wrinkles are forming or why your skin is dry, breaking out, or sprouting the odd strange blotch, it is not life-threatening, but it can be very frustrating. Dr. Diana Howard is an expert researcher on skincare ingredients. She is the Vice President of Technical Development for the International Dermal Institute in Los Angeles. And it is my pleasure to welcome Dr. Howard to Vancouver and to Studio 4 to tell us more.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Wonderful to be here.
What interested you in skin care research?
Well, I think because obviously whenever you're going to look into what you can do to impact and change the skin, you need to understand what it's all about. You know, if we don't understand the structure of something, we certainly won't understand its function and what we can do to address that.
And I would assume the younger you start to take care of your skin, the better your skin will look.
Absolutely. I mean, I tell people all the time, the most important thing you can do with your children, teach them to brush their teeth all the time and to start wearing sunblock at a very early age.
Many mothers got the message, but according to your research, we're not putting enough sunblock on.
Well, that's true, and we've actually uncovered some very interesting information with regards to the use of sunscreens. The first thing that we know is people don't use an adequate amount of sun protection. In order to get that SPF that's on the package, you need to use a certain amount. And what people don't realize is, for example, for the face, you would need to put a teaspoon worth of sunscreen on your face, and that's quite a bit.
It is a lot.
Yeah, so that's...
Because most of it's just going to skim over.
Absolutely.
You know.
Especially if you're a woman and you're putting makeup over it, you're going to be less inclined to use as much as you need because you're going to put your makeup on top of it. You might even use a moisturizer. So we're looking at developing products that contain the sunblock, the sunscreen protection in the treatment moisturizer.
That makes sense, a tinted moisturizer, so in the morning you don't have to think too much.
Right. Well, people want convenience.
Slather it on, convenience.
Yeah.
As you look at trends in the skincare industry, it seems to me simplicity. Keep it simpler for me.
Streamlining. I mean, everybody's time is the biggest commodity we all have, and people want to really take shortcuts wherever they can, but not shortcuts in the skin protection and what you're doing to treat your skin. And you know, when you talk about how much sunscreen you need for a body.
Look at me dabbling in this. I'm messy.
This is a shot glass. And this is what you need for your whole body to get that SPF protection.
Come on.
That's a lot of product, isn't it?
That's a lot of product.
Yeah.
That's a lot of product.
We always say that, you know, if a little is good, more must be better when it comes to sunscreens. You can never over-apply sunblock. You know, you need to use it liberally. You need to put it on. Studies have shown that you're better off putting on your sunscreen every 30 minutes, reapplying it every 30 minutes, than putting a lot on and just not reapplying it for 2 hours.
How much attention do you pay to the numbers, the 15, the 30, the 60?
Well, you know, there's a lot of discrepancy. Is anything over 30 really giving you a increased protection? At the International Dermal Institute, we have done some studies, and really 30 is, that's about as good as you're going to get. One of the things that I like to make people aware of is many people with a sensitive skin or sensitized skin, or they tend to react to product, chemical sunscreens that you find in most of your sunscreen products can be slightly irritating to the skin. Now, when you're looking at an SPF of 15 in a product, you have about 93% protection from UVB radiation. In order to go from an SPF of 15 to 30, you double the amount of sunscreen, the chemicals in the product, but you're only increasing your protection by another 3 or 4%. So 15 is excellent, reapply more often. 30, I think, is great for your face. Yeah.
Okay. What's your skincare routine at home? Because you have the perfect skin, of course, but do you know what I mean? We've been raised with routine. There was a day when they had us putting astringents on and taking astringents off and doing this and washing and cleansing and masking, and you thought, I just don't know where to start.
Yeah.
So if you want to age smarter, and I know you call it that.
Yeah. Age smart is really a term we've coined at the International Dermal Institute. And, you know, the reality is you are not going to get rid of wrinkles with a topically applied product. But what you can do is put the skin in optimum fitness. You can help that skin recover. And the data that we have available now really indicates that topically applied vitamins such as retinol can reverse the signs of aging. Dr. Voorhees out of the University of Michigan just last year published some unbelievable studies studies with photographs that shows how topical applied retinol or vitamin A literally reduces the signs of aging,
So
wrinkling.
retinol is simply vitamin A.
Retinol is vitamin A. I mean, many people are familiar with vitamin A, just little maybe gel caps that they may take internally. I'm referring to topical application. What people don't realize is when you take an ingestible, your skin, even though it's the largest organ in the body, may be the last organ to receive that ration of vitamins.
And vitamin A is fat soluble, so you have to be careful about overdosing. You should
Right.
probably get it from food. That's what the
Right.
nutritionists tell me.
You have to be
Vitamin
careful
D,
with that.
yes, take
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
The sunshine, well, you don't have to. You live in LA, but when you live north of Arkansas,
Right.
you have to take lots of vitamin
Yeah.
D.
But topically applied vitamin A, I mean, here you see a little gel cap, and if I were to cut that open and squeeze it out, as you pointed out, it's fat soluble, it's a lipid. But we can incorporate this into a formulation at the correct concentrations. This is why I always say to people, you know, don't try to go to a health food store and buy capsules and cut them open and put them on your skin. You don't know what the dosage is that you're
No.
giving yourself.
We all did that with
Yeah.
vitamin E when we had
Yes,
babies.
yes.
Well, you maybe
Yeah.
haven't had a baby yet, but we didn't want stretch marks. So
Yeah.
all the pregnant mommies were like
Right.
slathering
Yeah.
vitamin E. And we
Absolutely.
still got stretch marks.
Yeah.
Don't you know?
Well, but now we have so much data that supports the benefit of topical vitamin A on even stretch marks.
Really?
There's oil of evening primrose. Here's another example of a capsule, oil of evening primrose. Fantastic. Years ago,
Is that borage oil? Borage?
Yes, borage oil.
Borage.
Borage, starseed oil, oil of evening primrose. They're very high in something called gamma-linoleic acid. And dermatologists, for years, oftentimes, if they have somebody come in with eczema or keratosis pilaris, which is an irritation on the upper arms and thighs often, they'll say, cut open a capsule, squeeze out the oil, and apply it topically. Once again, you don't know the dosage you're delivering. We, as cosmetic formulators, can put a precise amount of the evening primrose oil into a formula, and it's really important, especially when you address aging skin and sensitized skin, because we find that as skin, the barrier lipids in the skin become compromised, the skin becomes more sensitive.
Okay, and a lipid is a fat?
A lipid is a fat, yes. And what we find is oil of evening primrose and even silicones, when they're in a cosmetic formulation and applied to the surface of the skin, they reinforce the skin's natural barrier lipid layer. And what that does is that helps prevent the skin from becoming dehydrated, losing water, as well as chemicals from the environment penetrating, which can cause a sensitive skin condition.
Hydration is big, as you know, because you're a scientist. As you age, go through menopause, even have a bad PMS day, it somehow affects our skin.
Well, you know, we always say at the Institute that you can look at somebody's skin and you can tell if they're healthy. You can even look at someone's skin, I believe, and see where their emotional and their psyche is at that point. It's very telling. It really is a mirror into to our body.
Yes, I had a fabulous facial at the Dermal Institute here, the Dermalogica people, and she was poking right there on, and she said, "That's your liver." I said, "What?"
Chinese diagnosis.
Had I had too much wine the night before? Don't know. But apparently, if it's a little puffy here, that is where it's Chinese. I know
Yeah.
the Chinese medicine thing, but it was so interesting to me. I thought, oh, what else is showing in my face?
Absolutely. Well, we do, you know, at Dermalogica, we do face mapping where we literally break your face into 14 zones, and the trained skincare therapist reads the zones and combines not only a clinical analysis, but combines this with Chinese diagnosis or facial reading. And so we can really determine what somebody needs for their skin. And, you know, too often people look at their face and they think from one season to the next, what they used in spring may be good for summer or fall or winter, and that's not the case.